Tyrese Maxey is about to blossom into an NBA star this season, and I'm about to tell you the 2 reasons it is guaranteed to happen.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. Like always, drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, continue to support the show in every way as we continue to grow. Today we're back, and the featured spotlight is on Tyrese Maxey. We're going to take a step back, leave the Harden drama alone for a day, and we're going to talk about one player we know is on the Sixers next season. And honestly, I want to talk about why I think he is going to blossom into a star. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Is this the year where Maxey really elevates to that next level, to that next status? In fact, I'll start you off with a hot take. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to make his first All-Star appearance this upcoming season. What do you think about that? We took it to YouTube community. Almost 4,000 votes. 74% of the people say that they believe Tyrese Maxey will make his first All-Star game in 2023-24. What do you think about that? Let me know your thoughts down below. But really, let me give you a secret here, man. The key is not just Tyrese Maxey. There's another factor in the equation which is going to help him turn his game into a whole nother level. We'll get to it all. But before we do so, a quick shout out to our partner of today's video, Mint Mobile. Shout out to the partner of today's video, Mint Mobile. If you out there are similar to everyone else in the world who has thought to themselves at one point, why is my wireless bill so high? Then Mint Mobile is for you. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 per month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network and keep costs low because they sell directly to you online, cutting out the retail stores and salespeople. Why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network? You can go and use that money to treat yourself to a Sixers game or even buy a new jersey. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. They even offer super affordable family plans with as little as 2 lines. And switching to Mint is super easy thanks to their digital eSIM cards. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. And if your phone isn't eSIM compatible, Mint will actually ship you a new SIM card free of charge. The whole process will only take about 15 minutes. And if you get stuck, Mint has a great customer service team to help you through it. So if you are interested in reliable coverage and fast data for a fraction of the cost, go to mintmobile.com/PhillyTake. You can go right down to the description of this video and click the link, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. All right, man, let's get into it. So before we jump into some film and some other things, let me just put this up, a simple graphic statistic here. I put this on Twitter a couple days ago. Be sure to follow me on there. All right, Tyrese Maxey is only 22 years old. Here are his main simple stats from year to year, right? 2021, rookie off the bench, about 15 minutes per game, 8 points per game, shot 30% from deep. And remember, he came out of college, he could not shoot that well. And then his second year in the league, he elevates to essentially being the Sixers' third option, right? He's going through a lot of drama with the whole situation with Ben Simmons. And he elevates to playing 35 minutes per game and puts up 17.5 points per game, shoots a third best in the league, 42.7% from deep. And that's how the second season went, his first season as an NBA starter. And then this last season, he was once again the third option of the Sixers, 33 minutes per game, 20.3 points per game, and elevated again, increased it to 43.4% from deep. Now, in addition to that, what else has Tyrese Maxey gone through? Okay, so he came out of college, and there was essentially no pre-draft process. There was no March Madness, so really the Sixers got lucky. That's how he fell down to number 21, if you remember. So he had to go through a weird pre-draft process. In addition to that, like I mentioned, he dealt with one of the weirdest distractions ever with the Ben Simmons situation. He didn't know if he was starting, if he wasn't, what his role was. He had to deal with all that chemistry, locker room drama. And in addition to that, in the same season, he essentially had to go from being kind of the Sixers' third option, sometimes second option, to then taking a back seat behind James Harden when the Sixers acquired him at the trade deadline, had to essentially switch his role midseason, play a completely different role. And he had to deal with Doc Rivers. Some nights he's involved, some nights he's not, and et cetera, et cetera. Point being, there's so much that Tyrese Maxey has had to go through so far with his time, with the Sixers. And he's only 22 years old. And in fact, when you look at his playoff numbers, they're not as bad as people may think, right? Like, I feel like there's been a weird notion on Tyrese Maxey, especially this past offseason, right? Because I guess he didn't show up to the fullest in the playoffs. Let's be honest, nobody did. But you look at Maxey's playoff numbers, here they are, right? First year, 2020-21, when he was coming off the bench, 13 minutes per game, and he was putting up 6.3 points per game. The next year, 40 minutes per game in the playoffs, right? And a big ask for Tyrese Maxey, averaged 20.8 in the playoffs. And then his third year, as you can see, he averaged 20.5 in the playoffs. So not really much of a difference from his regular season average. Again, you know, it wasn't as efficient, but he still shot 40% from three in the playoffs. So when you look at the numbers, it is very promising for a 22-year-old who has been through all these different things. You think about a young star potential guard like Tyrese Maxey, right? They're usually on the bottom of the barrel organizations. They usually don't even make the playoffs for 5 years, and they're scraping, and, you know, it takes a process, a while to really build around them and for them to get to that moment. No, Tyrese Maxey was thrown right into the fire. He came to a playoff-ready team, and all of these experiences have added up so far in his career. And really, it's probably motivated him to be better early in his career, along with the whole Simmons situation. Now, in addition to that, I want to pull up a few things from the past few days, right? Because Tyrese Maxey, again, it's not only his play on the floor, but his personality, his work ethic, his, you know, desire to get better. It's just such a breath of fresh air compared to some of the other athletes. And he continues to work, right? Here's Maxey in the gym this offseason with Drew Hanlon, and shout out to Dave Early, who spoke with Drew Hanlon about some priorities for star clients, right? Drew Hanlon works with Joel Embiid as well. And here's what he said for Tyrese Maxey. Ball screen reads, driving left, and creating his own shot. Things that we have seen Maxey already take to a new level in this past season, but he is only going to get better. Think about the incremental jump from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. As this guy's been given more opportunity, he has continued to thrive. Here's an offseason video, and I know, as a Sixer fan, you can't put much stock in it. But here's Tyrese Maxey. Look at the jump shot for him this offseason. Maxey getting up these threes. It's almost repetitive for him at this point. It's second nature. And again, remember, he's had to play a variety of roles so far with the Sixers. You know, with James Harden, he's had to become more of a spot-up shooter. And the fact that he came out of college, really the one knock was that he couldn't shoot threes, right? It's why, you know, a lot of people were upset. I mean, he was shooting 29% from deep in college. The Sixers needed shooters. And what does he do? He takes a huge leap. He became one of the best three-point shooters in the league already. Again, 22 years old. So when you look at the natural development of his game, there are not a lot of players this early in their career who continue to make these kinds of jumps. What are the knocks on Tyrese Maxey? Well, for one, the Sixers, you know, need to be better in terms of utilizing him, but he needs to be better in terms of, you know, spreading the wealth, right? He needs to be a better playmaker. He needs to be more confident with the basketball, and he needs to make smarter decisions. If he continues to do these things, there's no reason he can't elevate to being a star. And I'm about to tell you why I think it's going to happen, and it's because of Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is going to do two things with Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers offense that I think will help him elevate to all-star status. Number one, the knowledge of Nick Nurse, right? He has helped develop some of those Toronto guys, even if they want to say that he didn't. He absolutely did. He gets the most out of his players, and he plays in more of a team system. So the knowledge of Nick Nurse and how he can construct an offense and a team. What did he say, right? Because Tyrese Maxey and Nick Nurse sat together on Maxey's podcast a few weeks ago or a month, whatever it was, and they talked about the offense, and Maxey was already impressed in some of the X's and O's things that he was talking about. And Nick Nurse said one thing in that interview. He said, the Sixers offense cannot be as predictable, right? It's not always going to be stuffing the ball to Joel down low in the block and running your offense through that. So I expect Nick Nurse to move the ball around a lot more, get other guys involved, right? Some nights Maxey would go for 25, and then you don't hear from him for a couple games, right? Nick Nurse is not going to let that happen. Maxey's going to play a vital role in this offense, and he's going to be able to pull more tricks out of the bag. And in addition to that, the other reason is because of the pending James Harden situation. Despite what happens with that, you know Nick Nurse likes to play more of a team basketball style, and he is going to get Maxey a lot more touches, right? The biggest knock was, Why doesn't Maxey have the ball in his hands more? Why can't Maxey, run the two-man pick and roll with a Joel Embiid or a Tobias Harris or whatever it is? We just never saw that at all. And, it was quite honestly mind-boggling at times. Like, James Harden is struggling or he's hurt or whatever. Why not let Maxey get the rock, right? Give this kid the keys and let him go out there and work with Joel Embiid. We saw that type of duo, right? A special big man and a really prominent young guard can work, right? Look at the Denver Nuggets, what they did with Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic. I know it's a different style of basketball, and Joel's got to be better as well, but there's no reason that those two can't develop a special chemistry together. And I want to look at some film here from years 1 to 2 to 3 to just show some of the progressions that Tyrese Maxey has made with his game. So here is year 1 Maxey, right? And you got to play up here on the left wing and watch. He's going to try to drive and draw some contact, but he doesn't really get a lot of separation. He can't beat around his man. He's going to step back and make the shot, and yes, it does look nice, but you could tell, right? There's a lot of work to be done. And you remember year 1 Maxey, he was really afraid to shoot the ball because he wasn't shooting that well. Again, he only shot 30% from deep. And here's year 2 Maxey. Now watch just how much improvement he made on a similar type of play in year 2. He's going to have that quick burst, that first step, get around his defender, learn how to use his body a little bit better, and a very light touch to finish it, right? He's going to get the and one, and he started to become a much more natural scorer. He started to really progress, and then he added that. The little quick hezzy, step back, right? Where did he learn that from? He learned that from James Harden. Once Harden got traded, and look at this. Maxey going to drive, really lethal with both hands, goes right through 2 and goes right up. Tyrese Maxey, as a ball handler, there's no reason to think that he can't do this. Look at that. What a cross by Tyrese Maxey. This is year 2. This is year 2. And now let's look at year 3. Let's look at what Maxey has done in his game over the past year. Again, he got a lot more comfortable with the basketball, a little quick step back, boom, right? Anytime Maxey was putting it up this year, you felt, okay, he's going to knock this one through. It got to that point where, like, anything he shoots, look at that little shuffle to the corner, bang. Tyrese Maxey has become a much more natural scorer, and he can absolutely create with the ball in his hands. The question is, will he be able to develop as a facilitator? That's really one thing that has been holding him back, making quicker decisions with the ball, again, being smarter, limiting the turnovers. But Nick Nurse is known for helping guys with that, and I think that he is going to really implement that into the Sixers offense. Here's Maxey again, right? He's too quick. You don't know whether to bite or not. And then he added that little runner, man. Very light touch on the floater. I mean, Maxey's game is developing really like a lot of young stars in this league do, right? You look at some of these superstar players, look at how they develop their game. There are not as many who have developed as much as Tyrese Maxey, who have improved, looking at the numbers so far this early in their career. And he's just making things happen. Obviously, he's a threat in transition. Look at that quick pull-up. I mean, it is beautiful. When you think about Tyrese Maxey and you think about where he has essentially come over the first few years of his career, given all of these obstacles that exist, I mean, it's crazy not to think this guy is going to be a superstar. And I think now he has the perfect match of a coach and really the style of ball that you need to put him into that all-star status. And I think if he continues to improve on the defensive side, which again, Nick Nurse is obviously, a savant with, right? The defense and the system. I think Maxey's going to take his game to another level this year. But those are just all my thoughts. I'm excited to see what he can do this upcoming season. Let me know yours down below. Do you think this is the year Tyrese Maxey becomes an NBA All-Star? Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.